Viitorul e al tău, noi punem temelia. UDCP, construim pentru România. UDCP, Universitatea de Construcții București.
First of all, I apologize not speaking in Romanian. It's not my best language, but hydraulics I know. Okay. So let's start this. Okay, so I'm here. I'm based in Portugal. AGS is from Portugal, and I'm presenting the journey through the implementation of a performance-based agreement in Romania to decrease non-revenue water. So just the context, our client is RADU, the largest public regional operator in Romania, and our service area where we act is in Constanta, that has 265,000 inhabitants, plus the seasonality that you probably know, and 750 kilometers, okay? In terms of context of who AGS is, we are in the water sector for more than 35 years. We have projects across the world, despite being based in Portugal, but we are 100% part of a Japanese corporation called Marubeni, okay? And in terms of services, we are a service provider in terms of engineering and IT, but we also work with concessions, PPPs, public-private partnerships, performance-based agreements, as in this case, and operation and maintenance contracts, okay? So just to start the initial challenge on Constanta, we had all of these obstacles, these problems that are very common when we are dealing with water utilities with high levels of revenue water or low digital maturity. So the infrastructure was very old. We didn't have complete measurements of the inlets and outlets of the system. Most of the data was registered in paper. The network is open, so it was not sectorized. There was no DMAs, district metered areas. The detection of leaks is reactive. There is a problem, they go, but they didn't. They weren't proactive on doing this detection. They didn't have a lot of softwares to manage the systems, and the operational activities had low accountability. Okay, with this in mind, we did the performance-based agreement, the performance-based service contract, which is a project of 5 years. This is the last year, so we already have some results to show, where in these 5 years, the first one is for preliminary activities to establish a baseline, and the other 4 are to decrease non-revenue water. Okay, these type of contracts function to having a performance fee and then a fixed fee, and the performance fee changes according 4 KPIs in this situation. Non-revenue water decrease in new zones and old zones. The difference here was because part of the network was rehabilitated a couple of years ago. Then another indicator was the ILI that was spoken also today already, the infrastructure leakage index, and the final indicator were the burst in the pipes. So the main objective was to decrease non-revenue water, to create plans for short, medium, and long term to decrease this non-revenue water, to increase the knowledge of the system for RADU itself, and to provide capacity for the teams, okay? And we are 3 parties in this contract. Us as the consultant, RADU as the client, and then a third party which is the international, the independent technical audit, which allows to analyze and compute all of the calculations for us to analyze the performance fee. So in terms of effort and activities that we have done so far, we focus a lot on the sectorization of the network. We proposed 91 DMAs, 84 are now implemented. We try to put active leakage detection teams instead of reactive leakage detection operation. We focus on pressure management, propose PRVs, and try to better the efficiency of the repair procedures that they have. We did hydraulic modeling, both in the overall manner and also in terms of the DMAs. We focus also in the illegal detections teams and the customer meter management to try to optimize the list of customers meters that have to be changed to increase the revenue in RADU. We focus on the monitorization of pressure and flows, and we do monthly performance assessments in more than 30 indicators for RADU to understand the evolution in different fields across non-revenue water. And then, of course, asset management is also very important. So just to show you some examples, we have here the area of Constanta. We create an hydraulic model with information that we have. And then with this, allow us to sectorize the network in optimal locations. The green parts are the DMAs that are already implemented. The red are still ongoing. And then with FlowWise, with the software from AGS, allows to, with the telemetry data, with the flow metering equipment and pressure sensors, allow to have all of this information in a user-friendly platform, which when there is an anomalous event, for example, a minimum night flow that increases a lot, there is it generates an alarm that I receive in an email, Raja receives an email, so they can act immediately, go in the streets, the active leakage detected teams, and fix the bursts. So we have results in, I would say, 4 big topics in terms of operation and infrastructure, in terms of reducing non-revenue water, digital maturity, the increase of that, and this is one of the most important ones, to change the culture and organization of the company. Okay. So in terms of infrastructure and operation, we built more than 150 chambers, installed more than 140 flow meters and more than 300 pressure sensors. So we pretty much know what is happening in the network now comparing to 5 years ago. We installed a lot of new valves and replaced the ones that didn't work. And we now have 84 DMAs so far. And in terms of some indicators that are interesting to show, in terms of network inspection length, the teams search more than 600% comparing to the baseline year, the first year. And the more you search in active leakage detection, the more you find. So you can see also the bursts in the pipes and the bursts in the service connections also increased a lot with this. And one indicator that is very interesting is in terms of the personnel dedicated to the water losses. It increased from 7 to 21, which shows that Raja as a water utility is investing in the people to work in this field, which is very important, and financially is going to be better and better. So some examples of reducing real losses that we did. You see, this is a DMA, and you can see that the minimum night flow, so the flow that is at night that represent the majority of real losses in this DMA, as being dropping until almost zero. So this happens because we can know the system, because we have eyes on it. If we don't have measurements, we can't guess where these problems are. Okay. So we have another situation. You can see the burst increasing the minimum night flow, and then when we understood how can we repair it, the minimum night flow decrease, and the same in other examples. So for these past 4.5 years, more or less, we decreased more than 10 million cubic meters of water in volume of non-revenue water, which is very impressive in terms of its more than 4,000 Olympic pools, for you to have an idea. And for Raja, since it's a system that is all pressurized, not only the reduced on non-revenue water is good for them financially, but in terms of consumption of energy for the pumps, it's also decreasing. So it's two for one, I would say. In terms of apparent losses, so the commercial losses that you have, we have a software that's called MeterWise that optimizes the replacement of the meters. We replace more than 7,500 customer meters. And this analysis automatically based on a multi-criteria analysis. So age, consumption, the meter of each individual error, which allows to gain a lot of results. And then we resize the large clients, because there were a lot of clients that were not that were undersizes or oversizes, and with this, Raja, since they resize it, they have more and more revenue, as you can see here in the picture. Since May, the resizement, and then all of the revenue they gain by doing this correct, whereas resizement that they have also this information in MeterWise. So Raja is now more mature digitally. A lot of operational procedures are now digital instead of paper. Work orders are now digital also. In terms of forms for active leakage detection, it allows since they are online, we can all see and analyze from different departments. The GIS is always being updated, which is very good, and we developed a hydraulic model which allows us to simulate different aspects. And then we implement this for softwares. The first one you already saw, some image, the FlowWise, which allow then to monitor flows and pressures in real time. And we have these event generation alarms, meter-wise for the parent losses that you already saw also. And then you have the water-wise, the first one above, where we do the monthly performance assessment meetings, and we accompany all of the indicators that we think it's necessary for different groups of water losses teams. And then you have InfraWise, the last one, more related to asset management. It's a software that uses AI, artificial intelligence, to predict where the pipes are going to break. So basically, by having the work orders digitalized and all the historic, we in the artificial intelligence, we make the machine learning learn all of the information from the past to try to predict what are the next pipes that are going to break. And this allows for Raja to invest better their investment, their money, and also allows active leakage detection to know where are streets that are suspicious of having a lot of bursts. In terms of cultural and technical improvement of Raja, we did a lot of strategic plans on non-revenue water. We did 23 training sessions for 100 technicians. Alex was present in a lot of them. We did know-how for the softwares and did more than 20 reports on operational procedures, being maintenance, operation, pressure management, hydraulic modeling, a lot of themes. We promote interdepartmental communication, which is one of the most difficult parts to do when the system is not constructed in this way. But once all departments start to communicating, the results start appearing, and that's very, very important. So organizational efficiency has increased, and basically we increased the water, Raja water image has improved since we have less complaints of servicing interruptions, pressure complaints. We have all of this less, so the image is also increasing. So finally, some lessons. We think that a performance service contract is a very successful way to decrease non-revenue water. Some key factors of success are that we have to define realistic objectives, define roles and responsibilities in a clear way, and define and have a well-defined baseline or a mechanism to revise it. Because when you started a project like this, sometimes the reality is not as it is in the paper. So you need to adapt with this, then this mechanism is important. So assure the adequate resources for this, and have a good communication with all parties involved. Of course, it's very good. Principal challenge, human resources, or the lack of human resources across our field is, and across the world, it's always an issue in the water sector. So we need to not only have more people in this water sector, but then to retain these people, because if not, they learn and then they go another place, and then the water utility needs more investment. So and then to change this organizational structure, these priorities sometimes it's a challenge, but it's something that is very needed, and slowly is going to be done by presenting results. Results normally show the way. If the management see how if they do invest in something, they are going to get results, then it's easier to convince and to change the behavior, the established behavior in the water utility. So digital transformation is vital, not only because it allows for all departments to communicate easier with each other, but because it reveals what are the problems. I do hydraulic modeling for some time now, and one of the things that I like the most about hydraulic modeling is that I know how the GIS is incorrect in a lot of ways. So this digital transformation not only allows to help and work more efficiently, but reveals problems and solutions. And then finally, to try to promote discussion and close the gap between the management and the operational level, because if the management level doesn't understand how are the problems in the operational level, then the conversation will always not be that transparent. And so trying to explain to the management, showing the results, and trying to put everyone together is always a good way to put these projects forward and to decrease non-revenue water. So, good semester. Thank you so much.
Viitorul e al tău, noi punem temelia